The global aviation ecosystem, whether military or civil, thrives on meticulous and evidence-based approach in every aspect of its development, calibrating day-to-day processes geared at the attainment of near-perfect operations. They ensure that the condition of equipment, personnel and environment attain the highest safety standards for optimum performance of aviation services. Consequent upon the pressures of timeliness and safety requirements, aviation development, like other most high-pressure human endeavors, has continued to witness great innovations through unending deployment of science and modern technology adaptation for operational successes. In this regard, and in line with the fourth industrial revolution, the concept of smart airport has become the new trend, with a view to eliminating the drawbacks of the conventional airport system. Smart airports, also known as Airport 4.0, leverages big data and open data for operational efficiencies. Gladly, the Victor Atta International Airport is striving to be an early bird in modern technology adaptation for operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. It is instructive to note that since becoming a player in the aviation sector, Akwa Ibom State has continued to break new grounds and set standards in the West African sub-region and African continent. Ibom Air, solely owned by Akwa Ibom State, has become an industry leader of repute since commencing operation in 2019 and has won many awards for its excellent services, some of which are award as the best airline in Nigeria twice in a row, Daily Independent Award as Aviation Company of the Year 2021, Airline of the Year Domestic 2021, Best On-Time Performance for Domestic Airlines 2021, as well as the Promising Airline Award at the Aviators Africa Conference and Tower Awards 2022 held in Johannesburg, South Africa.
The one thing we know how to do is how to utilize aeroplanes. We maximize their utilization and we do it profitably. And so the plan is very carefully put together to increase the fleet to be able to do the frequencies that we're going to be doing outside of the country. So yes, everything has gone well. We continue to deliver on our business plan.
With the new terminal at the Victor Atta International Airport, which is awaiting inauguration, Akwa Ibom will again blaze the trail by entering the league of firsts in the development of smart airports in Africa.
We have a terminal building that will compete with any terminal building in the world in terms of smartness, in terms of functionality, in terms of what is designed for, security, safety, everything put together. I stand bold to say that this will still maintain the smartest terminal building as at today in Africa. I don't know what other countries will do tomorrow.
Across the world, smart airports rely on the use of connected technologies such as Internet of Things IoT devices, GPS and sensors to perform planning and operations tasks digitally and support operational staff, optimizing passenger flows and the activities of the airport staff across board.
But this is clearly a very strategic step in the plan of the aviation ecosystem, where you're having a smart terminal building as a starter point. So a terminal building where the fourth industrial revolution can operate within. So you're going to talk about the Internet of Things, you're going to talk about the capacity for human-machine interface to occur within the airport, and it would now help with seamless transition of passengers.
The three-story building is built to house both the international and domestic terminals, with the ground floor serving as a check-in concourse, while the first floor will be for arrival and the second floor will be for the departure area.
It's designed to give travelers a very pleasant and pleasantly surprising airport experience. From arrivals to departures, if you come in to connect to another flight, if you come in here to fly originating out of here, if you arrive here as your destination, all three types of passengers are going to get a very, very pleasant airport experience. That's the basis upon which we're going to sell this hub. That come and have a seamless experience flying out of Nigeria and flying into Nigeria and connecting seamlessly with Lagos, Abuja, elsewhere, or coming from the south or the east of Africa and connecting to the west, and from the west all the way to the east, and from both places into Central Africa. We're going to create that kind of ecosystem.
It's going to be, a tourist hub. It's going to be a business hub. It's going to, be a place that employment is being created, for people to be actively involved.
The terminal will feature state-of-the-art technology in airport terminal equipment, safety and security, access control, fire detection and suppression, lighting and power, and CCTV system, among others.
In terms of provisions for commercial services, retail areas, concession spaces, a lot of those provisions have been made in the terminal building project. A lot of them, as is the case in constructions of this scope and magnitude. What we are doing right now is making sure that all the reservations they need for plumbing, electrical services, air conditioning, those reservations have been made. The airport has at least 4 escalators. There are about 12 elevators within the building. Because of the smart nature of the terminal building, there are at least 4 power substations within the building, aside from the one that will control the car park, the automated car park management system, and the one in the utility center building, where all the essential facilities like transformers, backup generators, even the fire, water, and domestic water systems are coming from to service the main building. So a lot of those strategic planning components are already being installed.
When it comes on stream, the new terminal will exit the Victor Attah International Airport from the class of traditional airports that run manual processes and basic IT protocol, as digital baggage monitoring, facial recognition, biometric identifications, and other artificial intelligence concomitants will become integral parts of the daily operational processes at the facility, thus optimizing efficiency with available resources.
So we're going to look at the terminal building prepared to process 1 million passengers in a year. That's a good start point. But obviously, by the time that starts, Victor Attah International Airport would need expansion. It would need expansion very quickly. But the idea is start small and begin to grow.
The operations of the place is what would also make so much difference in terms of the value chain that we're going to get, the employment opportunities that our people would get, and then again the revenue that will be generated therefrom. That's why I said the area of aviation development is particularly of interest to His Excellency the Governor.
Since safety of passengers and crew is key to aviation operations, then another component that is set to enhance the top rating of the aviation ecosystem in Akwa Ibom is the maintenance, repairs and overhaul facility. The facility has 12,000 square meters of hangar space with 800 square meters of workshop and office space.
This facility is quite big. It's the biggest in Western and Central Africa, and definitely, as I said before, we are proud to be part of this. This hangar will take 2 747 aircraft at the same time. It's got 12,000 square meters. It's got all the facilities for maintenance in terms of workshops, and all aspects of the plane in terms of all the checks can be done in this facility. This facility will be run by international operator with the help and with the cooperation of the Akwa Ibom government and Ibom Air, of course. And definitely, it's something to be proud of. Is one of the best facilities compared to other places in the world, Europe, America, South Africa for that matter. I think in Africa the biggest competitor in this space is South Africa, also Ethiopia and Kenya, and of course Egypt. But I mean, from what we've created here is not to stand back for any other facility like this in the world.
Also, since excellent functionality of aircraft is key to safety in the aviation space, then the involvement of Airbus Consulting, the business mix of the MRO, lends credence to the sure footing of the facility's capacity to provide top-notch services to clients. Airbus, a world-class aircraft manufacturing company, is already training some Akwa Ibom indigenes to get certified as pilots and engineers, even as others are undergoing different professional trainings in different areas of aviation.
Well, yes, Airbus is a very strong partner of ours. We're buying a fleet of their aeroplanes, so they are very interested in helping us provide a world-class maintenance facility for that aircraft type, which is the Airbus A220, and other aircraft types around the country. In fact, Airbus Consulting is helping us put together the business plan for the MRO.
It is heartwarming that the MRO has already commenced test operations.
We have the capacity now in Ibom Air to do a series of very intense, deep checks on the CRJ 900. We built that capacity. What they just did there was a 6-year check on the aeroplane, which is a very intense maintenance check on the aeroplane. They strip it down and they strip it back up, almost like somewhere between a C and a D check in the way it used to be called before. Very few people will understand that, but it's basically a very intense maintenance that has just been done, that we got the approval to do because we've built the capacity.
This therefore means that some major checks and maintenance works for aircraft in the fleets of Ibom Air and other companies in and outside the country will now be carried out in Akwa Ibom. This will not just attract foreign exchange directly to the state, but will inevitably attract humongous development in different sectors like the real estate development, commerce, support infrastructure development, and tourism.
It's going to become a center of aviation activity, an ecosystem of aviation activity, a hub airport with a successful home-based carrier, with capacity to maintain aeroplanes belonging to Ibom Air and other airlines, with a terminal that facilitates huge hub operations that allow people to come into Uyo and transfer elsewhere, international to international, domestic to regional, etc., etc. So look at it, Uyo in 5 years' time, it will be a very, very active aviation ecosystem, one that I think will contribute immensely to the growth of the industry in Nigeria.
As the fleet of Ibom Air grows and the airline expands its operation to commence regional operations, even as the Victor Atta International Airport becomes an aviation hub, sustaining comprehensive network at a higher frequency than it is currently operating, the economic potentials of the state will concomitantly grow through enhanced foreign direct investments, tourism, and positive multiplier effects on local businesses.
Everyone who wants to take benefit should begin to find something related to aviation and study. So as a lawyer, I should be interested in aviation law. I should be interested in the rights of passengers in aviation. What are the standards? What are the rules? Because immediately these things commence, then suddenly people are going to run foul of the law. There will now be, where there is a wrong, there must be a remedy. So it is who knows the remedy, so that we don't just sit here and fold our hands and people arrive here and take benefits of that, because it's a global industry. When the MRO comes on stream, you're going to have people who do the support services, and in that industry you still have the skilled, highly skilled and unskilled, and the strategic disposition of governance and governments in Akwa Ibom State will be to bring local content to bear. So local content will benefit from it. Where that airport is today, if you take stock of the number of people who work there, either directly or indirectly, people who run taxis and the airport hasn't even gotten to its peak yet. So by the time the airport peaks and you begin to process 1 million passengers, almost everything, you're trading with 1 million people. Almost everything you do there has direct and indirect benefits. So what should our people do? So people should learn to have a nose for investments.
We've employed more than 500 people, of which 350 are Akwa Ibomites, earning a good salary in a good company. We spend approximately 10 billion naira a year as at last year in Akwa Ibom. Suppliers of our catering, the small tiny companies that were just doing meat pie 3 years ago that we invested in to become our suppliers are now supplying us heavily. They've upped their game to be able to provide the quality of in-flight snacks and food that we need for our. And imagine how much that is going to grow as we go into the hub and start going in. All of them have increased their employment by far. We've opened access to Akwa Ibom. The fastest growing airport in Nigeria is Uyo. So many people are coming into Uyo, the hotels are full. They've never been this full before. From as far as Zamfara to Kebbi to Yobe to Adamawa, government agencies, private, all of them are doing their breakaways and their strat sessions and everything. They are doing them in Uyo. There's access to Uyo. Every hotel has employed so many more people in the last couple of years to meet up with this demand. If not for COVID that slowed it down, only God knows how far we would have come by now. The change that's going to take place in running this terminal, my estimation is at least 10 times the staff they have now. They're going to need 10 times that. They're going to need engineers. They're going to need cleaners. They're going to need everybody from all aspects of the spectrum of work. So imagine that. Then imagine the MRO. Then imagine the expansion of the airline. Imagine the knock-on effect of that economically in the state.
Akwa Ibom is surely in the right track to reaping the benefits associated with aviation hubs like the Dubai International Airport, London Heathrow, Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport, and the Bole International Airport, Addis Ababa.
In aviation development, the airport is a city, the airport is a village. The airport is not just a location. The airport spreads into town. So what is happening in Victor Atta International Airport is the starting point of an airport village, because you're going to have the MRO there, which is ready for completion, and the MRO would attract companies, attract people, attract investments in different sectors, investments in tourism, investments in real estate. You're going to have people know that Akwa Ibom exists because that airport is there.
Sitting with the governor and his vision, he sees that kind of ecosystem of Ethiopian happening right here in Akwa Ibom. That's why we have the world-class MRO. We have the best terminal in the country. We're about to commission, and it's a deliberately designed hub terminal for Ibomen's operations. So it's going to change the game, basically. And we have a world-class airline also with a very efficient, modern fleet of aeroplanes. But right now, we're just going to take our own space and establish our own bona fides as a reliable, world-class regional airline.
Although the smart terminal and the MRO at the Victor Atta International Airport are coming alive in the twilight of Governor Dom Emmanuel's administration, posterity will sure record his name in its golden pages, noting the significant contributions he made to the enthronement of Akwa Ibom State as an aviation powerhouse in the West African sub-region.
Posterity will not only be fair to him, posterity will praise and hail him as a visionary. It's a part of a big picture, and that is his legacy, and I can guarantee you that people will talk about Dom Emmanuel for a long time.
The political will to continue with the commendable efforts of his predecessors in the aviation sector, backed by his commitment of huge financial resources, will sure stand him out for honors years after his departure as governor of the state.
Governor Dom Emmanuel is a very deep thinker. And like he said, he's not here for an applause, he's here on an assignment. And so he doesn't really play to the gallery. The Ibom Air is the toast, but it's not just Ibom Air, it's the total package, the ecosystem, the support systems, the strands, the veins, the arteries that will, in a whole, deliver to the world. Because immediately you have efficient services, you're no longer delivering to your community, you're delivering to the world. Would deliver to the world a first-class aviation structure.
The creatively engineered efforts of the Akwa Ibom government between 2015 and 2023 is indeed making Akwa Ibom State the Cynosure of aviation development in Africa, and that is another promise eloquently delivered by the Dom Emmanuel-led administration. Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Governor Dom Emmanuel is fulfilling the promise. Excellent infrastructure, industrialization, aviation development, agricultural revolution, human capacity development, giant leap in healthcare and educational development, peace and security, hospitable people, tourist delight and investors heaven. Join the train now. Come, live and work in Akwa Ibom State. Governor Dom Emmanuel, the completion agenda on course. Only God. Powered by the Ministry of Information and Strategy, Akwa Ibom State.
NTA Channel 12 Uyo, your dependable station, presents
a maiden edition of Virtual Children